General election. Polls show she faces an uphill battle. Now, speaking of uphill battles, new Rasmussen polling on Pennsylvania's U.S. Senate race shows Democrat Joe Sestak trailing Republican Pat Toomey with just 7 weeks to go. Our Bruce Gordon joins us now. And Bruce, what's the latest on this one?
Well, the latest, Lauren, is frankly more of the same, and that is bad news if you are Joe Sestak. Toomey leads by 8 percentage points in this race, 49% to 41%. That lead, that 8-point margin, is actually up slightly from the last poll, but frankly, it's completely in keeping with what we've been seeing all summer long. What's noteworthy here is that the polling shows no positive movement for Sestak, even though he has now gotten into the TV attack game. Toomey, of course, was up all summer long. Sestak joining that battle late, but so far no sign that he's eating into Toomey's lead, and with 7 weeks to go before Election Day, it is starting to get late.
Either direction, tighten it or turn it into a termy blowout.
Well, I think it's going to take some kind of a major gaffe from one candidate or the other. One of the things the Rasmussen polling shows is that folks are starting to lock in on their views. You saw those numbers there. An 8-point margin is one thing if it's 42 to 34. When you're up this high, you're talking about 90% of the folks who've made up their mind. In most cases, 2/3 to 3/4 of the supporters for either one of these candidates say, I'm pretty certain I'm going to vote for my guy, either Toomey or Sestak. It would take a major gaffe of one kind or another, or a knockout ad on a really grabby issue for this thing to move much.
We hear a lot about nationalized races. What does that mean?
Well, in this case, what it really means is there's no particular state issue that's jumping off the page, jumping off the headline, jumping out of the TV screen at folks. And so we're seeing national issues playing out on the statewide level. And that what we're seeing here then is it means the polling in this case, for example, shows Pat Toomey, the Republican, is trusted more on things like health care and on the economy. These are broad themes that play into this whole broad story we've talked about, and that is Republicans doing pretty well among the voters, Democrats not so well. And again, unless something happens at the more localized level, we're going to see the national trend sweep over Pennsylvania. That bodes well for Pat Toomey. It bodes not so well for Joe Sestak.
All right, things are starting to heat up. Thank you, Bruce. Thomas, over